I guess that's all I'll be taking with me. Goodbye. Oh, please don't cry. 'Cause we both know that I'm not what you need. But I will always love you. I will always love you.
Oh, that's about all of that I can listen to right now, and I've played that song a couple of times already today. What a piece of news to get about an hour and a half before we were about to do the show. We had a pretty different lineup in mind tonight. We always give a shout out to any actors that pass away on this channel, especially as you know I'm part of that industry. We did that for Hayden Panettiere last week, but I mean, you know, there are not many people in the same level or league as Dolly Parton, an icon across decades and generations. She's been around in my life for as long as I can remember. My grandmother was a fan of hers. My father was a fan of hers. My mother even liked her, and she wasn't a fan of country music, and she generally wasn't a fan. My mum didn't particularly like Americans either, but she liked Dolly Parton. So, yeah, I mean,
she was either you were a country fan and you liked her, or you were a man and you liked her big boobs, or you just knew she was a nice person. I mean, who are some other celebrities that are like John Ritter? Like nobody had a problem with John Ritter, you know. Nobody had a problem with like who were the other good ones? John Candy. Everyone liked them.
Yeah.
Farrah.
Yeah. Her work ethic, reputation, the philanthropy that she did, so much work for charity.
She wasn't a whore. That's always cool.
Yeah.
Her great songwriting skills. I believe she wrote Always Love You.
She did. That was originally written for somebody else as well, and wasn't intended for necessarily.
Yeah, and she held on to it for a while, and she was able to sell it to Whitney Houston. And my God, the money she must have made off that. I mean, it was huge. If she got 3%, she made millions.
Yeah, I mean, it was. Yeah, the clip we just showed was from The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, which wasn't actually the first movie I saw her in. I'd have to go further back than that. It was probably, I think the first film of hers I saw was probably 9 to 5.
Yeah, it's probably the only movie I've actually seen her in, to be honest.
Excellent,
fantastic movie.
Well, Northern, you're
Trump has ordered. Listen, Trump has ordered the flags at half staff this week for Dolly Parton. Dude.
Yeah, for a week.
Appropriate.
Yeah. That's insane. Awesome.
It's not just for the day, but for the week.
The whole week.
That's because we will always love Dolly Parton, and she was American, and the flag.
Oh my God! What would happen if they found out Dolly Parton voted for Trump? Like people would fucking. All the same people. I love you so much, Dolly. They would go out and they'd go nuts.
She was pretty militant about not talking about who she voted for, which is something more people should be like.
She never talked politics, and you got to respect her for that.
When she was asked, every single person you asked her about was just the sweetest person she's ever met, and she ain't got nothing bad to say about Richard Nixon or Bill Clinton or George W. Bush. It didn't matter who it was. She didn't have anything bad to say. She was just a really pleasant person.
Classy lady.
Yes.
In,
good on her.
indeed. My friend, the actor Donald Logue, posted on his Facebook today that he had the fortune to meet her, and said that for a woman who was only 5'2" tall, and I think it's easy to forget that she was actually quite short because she was so big in terms of her energy. She put a smile on everybody in the room. She made everybody feel important on set, and treated everybody equally. To quote him exactly, she had an otherworldly spiritual glow. She was tiny but filled a room with light, an incredible performer. She was even more amazing as a songwriter. She was kind, curious, and an American treasure.
I think you're right about that. She was so into earned things when they put her in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She herself said, I didn't earn this. Let me put out a rock and roll record.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, she had a great line as well when she'd do a concert and she would say, you know what, cost an awful lot of money to make me look this cheap. Which I think is that tells you a lot about how self-effacing she was, and yeah, I mean, what a legend. And there's not many that come as big as her, really, just in terms of the caliber of the personality, the range of talent, both in music and acting. Yeah, not every movie that she did was a runaway hit, but one of the things I liked about The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas is there's not many musicals that work well on the big screen. And the thing that made that film work 2000% was the chemistry between her and Bruce Reynolds. Burt Reynolds, sorry, not
Burt.
Burt Reynolds, yeah. And Burt Reynolds was not a great singer. He had done some singing before that, but he wasn't, it wasn't his main forte. He would admit that. But the scene with the two of them when they have to sort of sing to each other and they're kind of dancing around the bed before they have their shenanigans really works because the chemistry between them is so good, and that's also what makes the ending of the movie work when he comes back for her. I always remember that, like, when it came out, it was in the UK, it was 1982. This was the height of what was known as the Mary Whitehouse era. Now, for the benefit of my American guests who don't know who Mary Whitehouse is, she was a Christian crusader who was on a campaign to clean up smut on British television, and anything that had smut in it, she would protest about it. So when The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas was gearing up for its release and the trailers started dropping on the TV and all that, there was a glimpse of some women in underwear. It was all very Benny Hill. She got straight on her high horse. Oh, this movie is terrible, blah, blah, blah. Then, of course, when people actually saw it, all the newspapers were like, you can take your grandmother to see this movie. It's perfectly sort of, it's the most wholesome movie ever made about a whorehouse that you're ever likely to see.
Yeah, Mary Whitehouse was always going out of her way just to fucking stop people from having fun. She was such a killjoy.
Yeah.
Maybe see the movie first, lady.
Yeah, but yeah, so I really rated this film, and it was one of the few films that proved that musicals can work as movies sometimes, even though they should always be seen on stage. There are countless productions on YouTube of The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, and I've watched quite a few of them, and it's always interesting to see them and who's playing Dolly Parton's role, because God, those are shoes that you don't want to be standing in. For this, she made this role so iconic in this movie.
Do they do this the opposite way? Is it a play, then a movie, then a play again? Or is this like we do it now? It's a movie that succeeds and we force it into a play.
It was a play, and then they made the movie.
I had thought so. So maybe they added a couple of her songs in there, like the one we heard.
I think that's entirely possible. I don't know the full running order of whether she wrote songs for the musical, but the people who put together the movie, like a lot of the young dancers in this film, most of whom, by the way, where the men are concerned, sadly died during the HIV epidemic. Literally, almost the whole cast were wiped out. But most of them were also in the Broadway production, so they came straight from the stage production onto the film version. So it definitely had been performed on stage before, but I suspect, I mean, Dolly Parton wrote this song a long time ago, so I don't think that the song was in the play originally. I think that it was put in.
I have a feeling you're right. Is just quick question? Isn't "Wind Beneath My Wings" also hers? Right?
I don't know if she wrote it. She may well have done. That's the one.
She was a big writer. I mean, she was a fairly. When we talk about her being a musician, we should remember instrumentalist, not just a singer. She was a competent enough guitar player to write songs.
Yeah, and that's from the Bette Midler movie. But I can't remember who wrote the song for that. Although I'm sure somebody's probably googling it right now in chat. But
I think it's Dolly.
Yeah, I'll have a quick look at her. Other film credits though include, obviously there was 9 to 5, which I saw first. Rhinestone, which we'll come back and talk about in a bit. Steel Magnolias, which I saw at the cinema. Straight Talk, the Beverly Hillbillies. She was in Miss Congeniality too. I've still not seen that. No, Romeo and Juliet, which I also have not seen. Hollywood to Dollywood as herself. And Run Rose Run, which hasn't been released, which she also produced. I'm guessing in a cameo role, perhaps. And then, of course, countless television appearances, as well as Kenny and Dolly and all of those things. With
I love her cameo in Beverly Hillbillies at the end when she sings at Jed's wedding and he gets all nervous. Jed Clampett.
That's an underrated movie.
Yeah, dude. That was one of the better of the 90s rebooting the TV show into a movie.
Yeah,
very few.
Trend.
One of the extremely few faithful ones. And did they ever walk on by the original Jed Clampett as his other character, Barnaby Jones? He's like, I'm sorry, Mr. Clampett, I can't solve this case.
Yeah, he's the right. Yeah, and then they do. Well, my favorite joke in that movie is like the French Leah Thompson. You know what they say? Happiness is hard to find. I beg your pardon, ma'am. Happiness, it's hard to find. Oh, happiness.
Yeah,
That beats her rolling space camp right there.
I do remember that movie. Now you say it.
I remember Erica Eleniak really making that movie worth watching for a while at different parts too.
Last Christmas, we watched Dolly Parton's movie on one of my streams, Smoky Mountain Christmas, and it was pretty funny. It was pretty good. She's playing like an adaptation of herself. She's like a pop star, country star, and she's just got to get away from it all. The business is driving her nuts. So she goes out to a cabin in the woods where she grew up to go take her mind off things, and she finds there's like a gaggle of orphans that are like stowing away in the house, a bunch of squatters or little kids, and she adopts them all or whatever, takes care of them.
Yeah, I remember that one as well. It was pretty funny.
That rings a bell. Yeah,
I remember that movie.
You know what? One of the things she did best was she played sassy and kind of cheeky, like when she was beating up on Dabney Coleman, but she also played really sweet and maternal, better than most people, especially someone this sexy.
They were the Supergirl movie that came out with Helen Slater. They wanted Dolly Parton to play the bad guy, and she said, I could never play a witch. Which is
I
something
read
an
the
actual
script.
witch
I
would
need
say,
an
I feel
excuse.
like.
That's a pretty. I didn't know that.
I always thought it'd be the one you least suspect. You know, like what if Dolly Parton was like the Queen's satanic witch, You know, and it's like, damn, we never suspected.
we
But
get
no,
Lauren
yeah,
Hutton?
she did not want to be in the Supergirl movie because of that. No bad guys.
Who
Yeah,
did we get? Faye Dunaway or Laura Hutton in that one?
just to
It was
by
Faye
the way,
Dunaway.
just to clear up that music issue on Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, she contributed 2 additional songs to the film, which was Sneaking Around, so that's the one that she did with Burt Reynolds, and I Will Always Love You. Now that's interesting because I wonder if those songs are now also included in the subsequent stage productions that have been around since.
You'd be crazy not to use it. You'd be crazy.
Yeah.
When people do Hairspray now, they do a mashup of both movies and whatever worked on Broadway.
Yeah, yeah, I saw a production of Hairspray not a million moons ago.
It's stolen. It's lifted from Grease, which is why it has the name and why it works so well as a play. Like it was a template, just like okay, let's do this same thing 10 years later.
My birth father was the lead in the 1970s West End production in London, in Hairspray. He was also the lead in the West End production of Jesus Christ Superstar as well. I used to have pictures of him.
Which character would be the lead? The Ricky Lake character's boyfriend?
Well, in Jesus Christ Superstar, funnily enough,
I thought you were talking about
it would be Jesus Christ, and in Hairspray,
Shocking.
in Hairspray, it's the guy that goes to join the military, isn't it? And dies.
I think you're
at the
right.
end.
The guy who ends up playing Elvis for a little while, Michael St. Gerard, is that it?
I can't remember. I mean, I've only seen the musical once, and I certainly didn't get to see the version of it with my.
The original John Waters movie is great with Deborah Harry.
Yeah. But anyway, have any of my American guests ever been to the Dolly Parton theme park?
My friend was there just last month, or in April, I think.
Did
Dollyland.
It's
Dolly,
600 miles away now.
yeah. What did they think of it?
They liked it. Let me see what they said.
Is it Dollywood? It's called Dollywood, isn't it?
Dolly World?
Dolly. No, it's
maybe it is Dollywood. I went to Dollywood in April. She said, and couldn't get over how cool it was to be there while she was still alive. So that's all she said.
Yeah. So Dollywood have put up their own.
It's a destination I would go to. That's not a state that I would want to go to, but because of that particular attraction, I would maybe go there. I'd maybe go to, where's it, Tennessee? Kentucky?
Yeah. Let's talk about 9 to 5 briefly. Now, Lily Tomlin passed away, didn't she? Not that long ago.
No, Lily Tomlin, I think, is still making. She wrote a movie that had Jane Fonda in it last year. The NFL paid for it.
Her and Jane Fonda didn't they do a TV show together?
It was a Paramount movie.
Gracie, wasn't it?
Grace and Frankie.
Grace and Frankie.
Yeah, that was. They had that show, and then they had a few Paramount Plus movies.
I mean, this is definitely Dolly in her prime. In 9 to 5, she looks, I don't know, just sort of like, this is also the 1980s. Everybody's got the big hair. Look at that butterfly belt buckle that Tomlin's got on as well.
What? Oh my God! I thought Lily Tomlin's hand was on. I thought Lily Tomlin's hand was on something else.
Yeah, do you know what? I did
What the fuck?
I did a double take on that as well. But,
I like how Jane Fonda's like the hottest out of all of them, and they made her look like that. It's very funny.
Well, she's wearing the boss version "I'm a serious businesswoman" uniform from the early '80s. But,
she went from Barbarella. She went from Barbarella to that.
She also went from 30 to 40. She wasn't super young as Barbarella.
So she didn't write "Wind Beneath My Wings." I think that was Bette Midler.
No, I know it was. I googled it a moment ago. I can tell you in a second. It was written by Jeff Silbar and Larry Hemley.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and some Midler.
Her 1989 version from the movie Beaches is the most famous recording and became a huge hit.
Yeah.
Many other artists have done it before and since, so I was wrong.
Okay. Well,
It does sound like the kind of thing that she produced.
yeah,
Though.
no,
That was in her wheelhouse.
It's got her vibe. I absolutely agree. Yeah, 9 to 5 is a movie that I have seen it. I think me and my ex probably watched it, but that would have been early 2000 and teens. I haven't seen it in the last 10 years, certainly, and I wonder how it's aged. In terms of if it still the comedy in it still works and things
All they
like
do is beat up on their boss, who is a verifiable jerk, so everybody can kind of like it. But I guess if woke currency matters for anything, this would be considered fairly woke, because like they're torturing him with the garage door, they're beating him, they've got him tied to a chair, they get their revenge on their boss. So I don't know how the jokes would go over, but the premise I don't think is a problem, right?
I still remember it being very entertaining, and yeah, if we saw this now, it would be very fucking. It would be really shoved in our faces. But I think back then, you can still sort of like there was a bit more of an innocence to it.
This movie now would be 4 minutes long. They'd shoot the boss and it would end.
Yeah, castrate him probably before it.
Miss Sparkles, Al is only being quiet because right now he is so emotionally distraught at the loss of Miss Parton that he's just composing himself and getting ready. So, yeah, I guess so.
Especially as a metal fan.
Indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, yeah, she was. No, I mean, she was an icon, wasn't she? I've never been into country music, but I can still appreciate the talent that she had and everything. But yeah,
I don't think you need to be into country music though to appreciate her talent. Was so up there.
She had a country twist on pop. She was too successful to call country or any one genre.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is there's not many artists that at that level that kind of exceed genre, but she definitely did.
Look at that.
Yeah, definitely don't have a bad word to say about her. I don't really have any good words to say about her either, because she was never really a big part of my sort of entertainment circle. But yeah, it's sad.
Have you not seen any of her movies?
I don't think I have. I don't think I've seen any of her films.
I definitely would recommend watching Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, because it's a ton of fun. It's actually aged really well, because I watched it not that long ago, and I was interested in seeing how many I was going to try and do a YouTube reunion of the female members of the cast, because quite a few of them are still alive. And I started sort of trying to reach out to see. Only a couple of them are on social media, so quite a few of them are sort of older choreographers and things now. One of them runs a yoga studio, and it was when I was researching that, and I found out like literally nearly all the male cast were deceased. Most of them having died in the 80s and 90s, and which was tragic. But yeah, she's reading a children's book, so there you go. Al, your Christmas present is sorted. There's a hole in the log at the bottom of the lake, read by Dolly Parton for Al for Christmas. So
magnificent.
Yeah, I feel that's a winner. There's Dolly Parton's "I'm a Rainbow." I didn't know she did all these.
Yeah, I was looking at her IMDb. She did like TV shows. She did the voice for and everything, like Dolly Parton cartoons and everything. I mean, I suppose being in Britain, not really sort of aware of that kind of stuff, but she was she was an American icon. So I get it. I get it.
She was like 30 Donovan Leaches strapped together.
I heard you've got a signed copy of Llama Llama Red Pajama on top of one of your spider tanks. But anyway,
outed.
Yeah, totally outed. Stupenzo, you're a Texan, which is, the closest we've got to country and western on here. Right. What? This feels like a trap. What? Right. Yeah, I mean, is she particularly revered in that state?
Yes, she's a goddamn country superstar. She's like she's like La Madrina of country music. She's like someone said here, she's like the female Elvis.
Yeah. She's equally renowned in New York and Texas and Kentucky. This is an American icon.
Yeah. I think that's a really good way to summarize it for someone who maybe didn't grow up in the era where she was always around. She is the
and I did find
female
the
Elvis.
stream. I did find the stream where we watched the Dolly Parton movie. It's the Hot Dr. Pepper episode. Okay, cool.
Do you want to put
that later?
Do you want to put the link for that in the chat, bud? So maybe if people
Yeah,
want to check
sure.
it out.
If you guys want to go back in time, it's a pretty evergreen show. Let's see here.
Is she acting here, or is she just like waiting to like act in a queue? Because it's just radiating warmth. It just seems like the
No.
person.
That's a still from a scene, and yeah. So
beautiful.
I think the thing that really, she managed to stand the test of time. She also managed to avoid scandal, which
I was just about to say never.
She
ever
had a
heard
scandal.
or anything.
She had a huge one. What are you kidding me?
Well,
she overcame the scandal and forced people to deal with the fact that she was going to live life her way. She.
Oh, sorry, we've lost connection with Admiral Teag. I don't know what happened. I think his internet went down, but we'll get him back in just a second. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, look, there you go. You're back now.
How
Good.
about that scandal-free life of Dolly Parton?
Yeah. So the sorts of scandals I'm talking about are not the sort that you're talking about.
She didn't do anything sordid. She shocked a few people with the way she had her marriage go, but she was not dishonest or salacious or uncool. And she was never mean to anybody. And her husband wasn't exactly a victim. He was high-fiving her over the arrangement. So,
okay. Well, let's leave that there. This is from the theme park. This is the Dolly Parton experience. It's I'd be interested to know kind of what the ride consists of, but I'm guessing it's kind of her through the ages, in some respects, but otherwise it's very much like a traditional theme park Dollywood with the usual kind of thrill rides. So for any of the males watching, there's nothing like a big bouncy boob ride or anything like that. Sorry.
The twin bouncy houses.
No, but apparently it's a pretty good theme park. I mean, I remember looking to see where it was because I thought it'd actually be quite cool to visit somewhere a bit different because I'm a bit of a theme park guy. But it was always too far from any of the visits that I was doing to the States to realistically be considered. Enzo, is it on your to-do list?
No.
Yeah, Enzo might be further from it than I am.
I got Astro World, and all kinds of crap. If I want to go to a theme park, there's like a bunch of other ones, that I'd rather go to.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, she was a very religious woman, and but another thing I liked about her as well. There's a great interview with her and David Letterman where she sort of addresses a couple of issues, and one of the things she said is that people should just be what they want to be, and I respect her for that, which could have alienated a lot of her fans, but to be honest, I think it was quite endearing. So there we go. What on earth are you talking about, Leroy? We started already. Is there anything else anyone else would like to say before we move on?
No. Rest in peace, Dolly Parton. She was 80. Her boobs, half of that.
Yeah, R.I.P. Dolly. You brought a lot of people, a lot of entertainment, wrote a lot of great songs. She was a multi-instrumentalist. Look at that montage. She was playing banjo, guitar, maybe even piano. I was seeing different instruments. She could act. She was super talented and for the most part pretty darn cool. I guess we have her nieces, the Mandrell sisters, to remember her with.
Oh, is that the Vandrell sisters? Holly's nieces? I didn't know that.
That's why she was always the guest on their show.
Ah, okay. I've never seen that show, but yeah. I mean, obviously, with me being a film nerd, it's always it's her work in films I'm going to remember. And I physically own about 5 musicals, and they are Bugsy Malone, The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, Guys and Dolls. I think it's two. There's two others, and probably the one I've watched the most for me, the biggest repeat is definitely this one, Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. It's a fun film, and all the songs in it really work. They're good songs. The cast are great. The ensemble's great. Everybody looks like they're having a good time as well. The energy on the production is just incredible, and that really shows. And I think it's a movie that holds up well. So, being that this is a film channel, if you do want to go and check out one of her films, I highly recommend The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. My rating for that film would be a 9 out of 10. Does anybody else want to rate it? Who's seen it?
I've not seen it. All I've seen is 95, and that's it. And maybe a little cameo in the Orville.
Check it out.
Oh yeah, she was on the Orville, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Do check it out, and you can let us know what you think of it. Burt Reynolds is great in it as well. I mean, he is kind of playing, Bandit from Smokey and the Bandit again, but he is very good in it. Dom DeLuise is also very entertaining in it as well. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Enzo, you've seen it, right?
Yeah.
Rating out of 10?
Best Little Whorehouse. I give it two big 5s.
Okay. Excellent. All right. That sounds good. Okay, we'll move on. A few other things to cover today. If you saw my industry interview earlier, you would have seen that I had the fight choreographer on for the film Mutiny, which came out last week, starring Jason Statham. And I saw it the day it came out. The one thing I didn't realise about this film is it's directed by the director of Marine, and which is a 2-part French movie about France's greatest bank robber, and it's a fucking awesome film.
Yeah, Vincent Cassel, right?
Yeah, and I've said we're going to do the fat on it one day, and in fact, Enzo even created the thumbnail for me for that, but we still haven't done it yet.
I don't like the perspective of this this title card. Like, I know what they're trying to do, but it's off. It's throwing me off. It needs to be, for it to be literally, I don't know. But I actually watched this movie too. I love the trailer for this movie because it's basically Jason Statham is Jason Statham, and he's going to basically be doing all the Jason Statham stuff. This movie was like presented as not being anything different. It was just Under Siege meets Die Hard.
Generic as hell.
But you know what? I enjoyed it. I thought it was all right. It wasn't like utterly cringe-inducing like some of these dumb action flicks are. And I do like the setting. There is this masculine urge I have to go like live on a cargo ship or a crabbing ship for like months. That would be so fun. Just living in a tiny like cubicle style apartment and every day getting up and working on the rig. That's just awesome. Yeah, this movie was neat. I mean, there was some, when I say neat, I mean, he kills some people in some pretty fun ways in this movie. Like he breaks that one dude's neck by like slamming a door on his head. There was also, a big spear through a dude's skull. Then also he like rips a dude's he what's it called? He fish hooks a guy with a what's it called? Like a lock, a key lock. What's the word I'm looking for? What kind of lock is that?
It's called a fish hook. He puts it through the
guy's
cheek.
Right. But then elsewhere he does the fish hook, which is where you grab someone by the cheek and rip their cheek open. But he uses that with like
the padlock.
Yeah, he used a padlock. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. Gosh. Yeah, there's some fun. Yeah, it was pretty violent, which that's like all you can ask for with a dumb action flick like this.
I like the harpoon kill. I thought the harpoon kill.
The harpoon, I said the fucking spear through the dude's skull was like, damn.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't like,
talked it
I'm
out.
glad because I hate it when the movie's basically just a bunch of dudes punching each other and because everyone was raving about the Raid 3. What was that movie called? The Furious. And I thought the Furious was all right, but damn, the action scenes were just getting like stupid because they're so long and so intricate. It's just a bunch of why doesn't anyone have guns? And when you have a movie like this, it's like, yes, like, yeah, people are just quickly getting dispatched with machine guns, and that's it. It's like, thank you.
There's a bit of both in Mutiny. There's some gunplay and there's also some fistfights.
Yeah, but I didn't think the fistfights like lasted too long or looked too silly. Yeah, that's the problem with the fistfights just go on forever. It's like, God, just stop.
They get a bit boring and repetitive after a while. But no, the action in Mutiny I thought was pretty good. One of the interesting things that my guest Godfrey or Godfroy, to use the French pronunciation.
Yeah, you sent me his name on the thumbnail, and I was like, "What the fuck?
Yeah,
how do you say his name?"
I tried to pronounce it correctly, and I got it completely wrong. But even with him trying to guide me before we went live with that, but
it's the story of the guy's life, I bet.
He was talking about when they're prepping the action stuff, and he said, you know how it is. They never schedule them enough time to do the action scenes properly. And he said the one thing he likes about working with Jason, and he's worked with him 4 times now, is that he's a perfectionist. He wants the action stuff to look good. And at one point, they got reduced from 3 days to 1 to do a certain fight sequence. I think this was actually on Shelter, which, by the way, was shot after this. Mutiny was actually shot first, but they just got released in reverse order. And they said that, where we got 1 day, and Jason's like, what do you mean, one day? What? And yeah, we've only got 1 day in the schedule. It's supposed to be 3. No, so we're going to have to cut the action sequence down. And he's like, squares up to the producer and says, people come to see my film because there's action. Well, what do you mean? You're going to cut the action? You're going to cut what people want to see from my film? Fuck that. And so they got the original schedule and were able to do it as intended. So he likes working with him because the action scenes don't get cut. So, and he's an action director. He's a fight choreographer. So,
I would like to see Jason Statham like branch out and just play like, play like a principal in a coming of age drama or something. Just play like a guy. Like, is he capable of doing that?
Jason Statham is the nanny. Something like that.
I mean, not even like a comedy. Like,
I want to see him play a pro tennis player.
He would be better as Niles in The Nanny.
And you think he's coming up to his sort of second period Arnold career section?
Yeah, like Quentin Tarantino or Paul Thomas Anderson puts him in a movie in a small role, and he kills it.
I think Jason Statham knows his limitations, and he stays within his comfort zone. That's what I think about Jason Statham.
Imagine if like this was your high school principal or your middle school principal. He's like, "Oh, come, I need to talk to you about your grades. You're slipping, mate. If you don't wisen up, I'm gonna have to put you in detention."
But
he's turned Australian all of a sudden. What's going on?
It would turn into that Morgan Freeman movie, Lean on Me.
My name's Jeff Chilios, assistant principal. Yeah. And if any of you fucking wankers decide to pull any pranks during Spirit Week,
I would like to see something just to see if he can act and do more than just be Jason Statham. That would be
have you
cool.
not seen Hummingbird or Redemption, as it's called in America? It's actually pretty fucking good in that one.
I've not seen that. I didn't see that Shelter film either with the kid. I didn't know if he might be a bit better in that.
Shelter's not a bad movie. The action sequences in it are very good. I think the reason he did, I had the same conversation with Flem about this, and as you know, they're best mates. And
are they? I didn't know that.
Yeah, but he's been on private jets with him a gazillion times. So, because they've went up at the same time on Lock, Stock, didn't they? So, and he did. I think he did the film that you're talking about. I'm just going to double check. No, he did Wrath of Man, right? Which is a more cerebral kind of revenge thriller, but it's a much more acting focused film rather than an action thing. And you know, and I said, yeah, you should do more films like that or something completely different. And Flem said, no, he tried it with Wrath of Man and it sunk, you know, in the box office. So no one
Jason Statham's going to be the new Professor X. That'd be fun.
Anything's better than
Oh
Peace
God, I
Stew.
can imagine that.
I would welcome him, anyone but Peace Stew. But shouldn't the guy from First Class just take over, right?
James
He's too
McAvoy.
expensive. He's too
probably,
crazy. Yeah.
A's right on
Get
the
the-
nose as B. He's Patrick Stewart.
Get the
is
guy
perfect,
from that
though.
shitty Wolfman movie to do it instead. I mean, that's the problem. I do have to say, like,
Benicio del Toro.
I hate how when even people were saying, like, fucking Ryan Kinnell said it. He's like, well, I mean, I know he's not bald, but we'll see. It's like, guys, you can shave people's heads. Like, you don't need to be a bald man to play Professor X or Picard or Lex Luthor. You just shave their heads, guys. Anyone can play them.
Yeah. Well, my actor shaved his head to play the role in the Magnificent Seven when we did the stage play. To play Yul Brynner. So and he looked great with a bald head. So yeah. Leroy is asking, why is Miss Sparkle sad? Well, watch the news for the answer to that question. Yeah. So Mutiny ratings for those people that have seen it out of 10.
Normally, I'd give a movie like this like a 3 or 4 out of 10. I'd give this one a 6. It wasn't boring and it wasn't stupid and it didn't annoy me. It wasn't cringe. It was actually pretty funny. I did rewind a few parts. I'm like, oh, I want to see that guy die again. So yeah.
I'd give it a 7. I was expecting to see a little bit more. Thought there would be a bit more of a big shootout at the end. You know, when the Marine guys kind of came, I thought they'd probably.
He killed all those people in a big shootout in a staircase, and they all died quickly and realistically. Like,
yeah, I mean,
that's
no,
the thing is like when he's fighting the final guy, you're like, oh yeah, he's killed everyone already. It's just him and the bad guy. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and I was like, okay, that seemed over really fast, but
well, that's how fights and gunfights and you know, that's why I want to see like a Mortal Kombat movie, but the fights last like 10 seconds, you know? Swing, miss, swing, block, swing, axe in the shoulder, swing, fucking decapitate the guy. Like, that's how quick the fight should be, you know? Like, just
want a Mortal
murdering
Kombat
each other.
movie.
Yeah. But I think
the MMA style one.
Right.
I think the scripts could have had some more interesting things could have happened. You know, there could have been some more interplay with the characters.
Yeah,
and
my big criticism is the final line. You know, what is it you want? Kills the bad guy. Vengeance. It's like, dude, you could have worked something funner in there.
Honestly, I found it as generic as hell. I found every single plot point, every single beat was predictable.
Yeah, but like I said, I liked the setting. That was different. I like cargo ships, and then I liked the actual kills and action.
Yeah, the violence was good. It was very visceral and
but yeah, it was all pretty generic.
Okay,
it was so generic. It was like, you know, best friend killed and like old ex.
You saved my life years ago, and ever since then you've been working for me, and you're part of the family.
Every single thing that came along, I saw coming, but it's competently enough made. You know, I didn't think there was anything particularly interesting about it, but the violence is cool, and like Enzo said, some of the kills are pretty cool and imaginative. So,
okay,
yeah, it's a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10 for me.
Okay, 5 flies in the cobweb from Critic. Yeah, okay. I mean, interesting, and it's like I said, it's interesting to know that this was actually shot before Shelter.
Oh right, I didn't know that.
Lionsgate decided to release this second. So
yeah, I think the last film I saw of Statham minute before this was the Beekeeper.
Yeah,
the Beekeeper. That's the last one I saw for this. That was
What a bizarre name for a movie.
Yeah.
They've just done Beekeeper 2, by the way.
Yeah.
Have they
Yeah.
really? Oh my
Yeah.
word!
Yeah.
We're
gotta-
just working
well,
through all the
Be-
most mundane professions. So we had a window washer movie last
Yeah.
year with Daisy Ridley,
Yeah.
right?
I
Didn't
know,
we have
it's
a
like-
movie called about a woman who cleans your house called The Cleaning Lady?
The Bean
Yeah.
Counter, starring fucking Jet Li or whatever. Yeah.
Next year,
Jason
the supermarket clerk,
Yeah.
the real-time
Jesus.
drama of his overtime shift.
The grocery bagger.
The Odd
There's
Job Man.
Yeah, there's a what was it? I have a clip of my mom watching Beekeeper, and it's like she loved that movie because I like the whole elder abuse angle about it.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, that
frauding
was
old people. It's so good. But
Yeah.
there's like a scene where he lights a woman on fire in a gas station, and my mom is watching, and I have her videotaping her, and she's just cackling like a witch, watching this lady get burned to death.
I just love the scene when he goes into
that's
the call
awesome.
center and he's battering the crap out of people with keyboards and stuff. That was great.
Northern, did you see Mutiny?
No, I haven't. I've not had a chance to watch a lot of any new movies at the moment.
All right, no worries, mate. I appreciate you being here all the same. We're going to jump over to Tony now, which was recommended to me by Stupenzo. I actually watched it last night in preparation for today. It's the true story of the early life of Anthony, you pronounce the surname?
Bourdain.
Bourdain. Basically set in Provincetown in the early 1970s. And Tony, as he liked to be known back then, lied to his parents and said he was going on some kind of university fellowship, right? Yeah, but actually he was just in pursuit of the girl he fancied. Followed her up there, and then got a restaurant as a dishwasher. Got a job as a dishwasher in a local fast food restaurant, essentially selling oysters and not a lot else. And
Fish and chips, lobster po' boy, lobster rolls, some other stuff. But yeah, this movie made me crave seafood so bad.
Yeah, it made me crave good seafood, which is not quite difficult to find sometimes.
Oh, squid stew. A lot of squid stew in the movie. Oh, man.
But Dominic Sessa was great in this, I thought.
Dude, he's 2 for 2, man. It was Holdovers a couple years back, and now this. Like, what?
Yeah,
he's very underrated actor. eh?
Well,
I mean, he's brand new. He's only got 2 roles, and they were both
he's not
like...
underrated. He's not
Yeah.
underrated.
He got an Academy Award nominated on his
him.
first movie.
No,
Yeah,
Holdovers
might have
was
been in
his
more
first.
movies that I hadn't heard of yet. That's
No,
all,
no, we were all like when Holdovers came out, I called it. You go back and look at my stream about that, and I said this guy is going to go really far. This is his first gig. Look at how great he is already. And this film, it's like he's been acting for years. This guy is the next Al Pacino.
You know what's crazy though is who really surprised me was Leo Woodall, the guy from Tuner.
Yeah, he's
you
good
were
at
talking about. Yeah, dude, he's great. I can't even believe he's actually English. But
Yeah.
one of my criticisms of Tuner was the main guy is kind of a Gary Stu, he's just so fucking cool and gets everything right. But in this one, like, yeah, he's like a guy with he's like a cool, like, older brother kind of character, and you realize he's got some serious, like, demons in his closet, you know, he's got some problems. I like how they touch on, like, the substance abuse and the sadomasochism aspect of being like a line cook.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good it's a good show. Yeah, the whole crew of the restaurant, apart from the main chef, at one point are all on cocaine because they're going out partying after work, staying up really late, getting into work with only an hour or two sleep, and then they can't function, so they've got to do a massive line of Charlie to carry on working.
Well, it's funny because they're doing, like, they're cursing, they're making fun of each other, talking about how they fucked each other's moms and stuff, and they're drinking beer on the job, and they're snorting bumps of cocaine. But if anyone takes the Lord's name in vain, that's when Antonio Banderas is the boss, who's just always right there watching. He's like, hey, no, none of that. None of that. Because he's, like, super religious, Also, yeah, shout out. This movie features Malort. I couldn't believe it. Antonio Banderas offers Tony a shot of Malort, and I couldn't really. I had to check out the cam version to make sure that was what he said, but he did say Malort, Swedish wormwood, And that was the only word I heard was wormwood. I was like, he's giving him wormwood liquor? Is this Malort? So they do a big shot of Malort in this movie, which I thought was funny. If you watch my show, you know why that's funny. But yeah, I thought this movie was great. You know who also is great is the cute girl that he's into. She was in that Academy Award-winning movie Coda, which I thought was okay. I didn't think it deserved Best Picture. She was also in, what's it called? Strangers in a Ghostland? Something in a Ghostland? That movie was fucked up. I didn't realize that she was in that one. And she's got this other movie coming out soon called Charlie Murphy, something or other. Charlie Harmon. I don't remember what it's called. Some romance flick. I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like she's going
Eddie
places
Murphy's
too.
brother, isn't he?
Huh?
Sorry, say that
Yeah,
again. mate.
Charlie Murphy is Eddie Murphy's late brother, isn't he?
Yeah, I know. That's not the name of the movie. It's something like that. Charlie something or other. But yeah, I think everyone in this movie is bringing their A game. I love the setting. This Cape Town, New England, Northeast beach vibes. It's like Jaws, but without a shark. Imagine if Jaws was just like a perfect summer. Nothing happened, And I guess it takes place in 75 because at one point there is Jaws playing at a drive-in. But yeah, I guess the only other food they feature is pizza. But all the food in this movie is seafood. And they have big clam bakes. They have the lobster thermidor. They got so yeah. If you don't like seafood, this movie's probably not going to do anything for you. But man, I was craving so much. I was craving raw oysters so hard after this movie.
Yeah, I was pretty hungry after watching this film.
Just like some fried fish and chips,
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good film. It's it's pretty gritty. It's but it's if you like good acting, and you're obviously if you know the story, it'll be of interest. But it does feel like a play a little bit when I was watching it.
Yeah, most of it takes place in just a couple settings,
Yeah.
But I do say it's not really a movie about restaurants or food. It's a movie about other things, which is good. I love Antonio Banderas' line, at the end when he's just you're right. You think you're a writer, you think you're a chef, you could be anything you want, but you know what you are? You're nothing until you until you figure out what you want to do. If you're just in between jobs and stuff or whatever, yeah. Dominic Sessa, Anthony Bourdain. He just seems like a little dildo when he was younger, and he's got this really hardcore, he's got this mommy issues, and he runs off with a little bit of cash and just goes off to go chase some girl and give her stalker vibes. Yeah, I remember at the beginning when he's hitting on her and he's got a pair of nunchucks just tucked into his pants for some reason. He's just one of those guys, one of those nerds. But yeah, Antonio Banderas is great, and he's got this very soft-spoken kind of charm to him in this one. Helps Tony appreciate the finer things, the foods, and all that stuff. And it's he's got two of these characters. Leo Woodall's character is this kind of inspiration on how to be Mr. Cool Guy, and Antonio Banderas is how to be, the guy who gets the job done and just does his stuff and puts his head down. And yeah, there's a point at the end of the movie where he decides to follow Antonio Banderas more. Because the more you find out about Leo Woodall's character, you're this guy's insane. This guy's trouble.
Yeah, he certainly. At one point, I actually did think he was dead. And I was quite surprised when we saw him later.
Oh yeah. One of the most anxiety-inducing scenes in the movie for me, and for me, I don't know, it was really getting me. Was he's trying to shuck an oyster for the first time.
Oh my
God! Doing it wrong, and he's going to stab himself in the hand at any second. Oh my God.
Yeah,
That was rough.
That was pretty grim. We're going to watch a trailer now, so let's do ratings for this. Enzo, what did you think?
I liked it more than the Odyssey. I'd give it a damn 9 out of 10 probably. I mean, I feel like it has a lot of rewatchability factor just because of the aesthetic, the tone, the vibe. Like, it is definitely like a chill summer beach movie, you know? I don't know. It's a good movie to watch on like a cool sunny day off.
Yep. Yeah, it is a really strong acting piece. Pretty good scripts. Whether you'll like it really depends on whether the subject matter will appeal to you. But yeah, I can't fault it for what it is, so I give it a 9 out of 10 as well. Pretty strong film. Glad I watched it. Yeah, so now, one of the things that I wasn't expecting to see today, but I just happened to be online literally when it drops. So it's one of those things that you know is going to have millions of views, you know, pretty soon. And when I was online, I think it was like the views were like 2 or something like that. And then I looked and it was like dropped 1 minute ago. So I thought, oh, I guess I must be one of the first people to see this then. And that was the trailer for the new Ali G movie. Have any of you seen this trailer yet?
Not yet.
I was unaware of this.
Let's see if we've got it on the right setting. Tell me if you can hear audio okay.
Yo, it's me, Ali
Yeah, all right, let's watch it.
G. Cinemas.
Well, there you go. That's coming out from Amazon. That's going to get copyrighted tomorrow, probably.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah. Thoughts? Who wants to go first? Northern, you jump in.
I'm cautiously optimistic about this because Sacha Baron Cohen has kind of been going on record about apologizing for stuff like he did in the past, and I'm thinking, yeah, this might be some safe edgy thing, and I think, I think he's lost it now. I mean, he used to be really good and provocative back in the past, but the thing is, though, when you watch the original Ali G shows, they were so much funnier because the people had no idea who this guy was or if they thought he was serious.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Ali G's more recognizable now, and it just won't work. And it looks like he's trying
That
to.
Could be why he has a drastically new hairstyle that I'm not a fan of.
Right.
It's gone all Rasta.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's gonna be as good. Even the first Ali G movie was kind of just okay. You know, it's a product of its time. It gives me a good laugh when. It gives me a good laugh when there's nothing else on, but I don't know if I'll be very surprised if this second LG thing actually ends up making me piss myself laughing and ends up being good.
Yeah, Ali G in the House was not. I wasn't a massive fan of that. I loved the Borat films. They just really.
Borat is miles better.
Really
The Dictator is fucking better.
I enjoyed The Dictator. I thought that was very good.
I enjoyed The Dictator as well. I mean, I didn't realise he'd been backtracking on some of his comedy. Anything in particular?
I know it's satire though. He was taking the piss out of these like white guys in these middle class areas trying to talk all that like the proper down with the streets and that. It's
has he apologised for doing that?
It's been about same for him and Lee Francis as well, apologising for doing blackface when he did Mel B, even though Mel B was kind of in on the joke a lot of the times anyway. It's
didn't the whole like Craig David say like he was like
David Craig was being a whiny little bitch, all right. He actually appeared on Boss Selector as well at the end, and now he's just whining, "Oh, I ruined my career." Yeah, but didn't you have a little comeback in the fucking 2010s? Shut up.
Okay, I mean that's interesting.
I think Sacha Baron Cohen is a very talented entertainer. He's also not a bad straight actor as well, but this doesn't look like it's particularly inspired. Hopefully, it's got some good ideas. You know, like he said, you know, based upon sort of the pandemic, and it can be situationally and topically relevant, but I wasn't feeling it from that.
Yeah,
trailer.
Miss
And like-
Spackles is not digging that jacket, but yeah, he's taking the piss out of these. You know, rappers who always wear this ridiculous stuff. I mean, look at Kanye West when he wears when he dresses up like a fucking gimp for some reason. It's
also, for some reason, it seems like he's not even trying with the voice. Was it just me, or was the voice just not there?
Yeah.
The Ali G voice.
I thought
he's really phoning it in. He's phoning it in now.
You think?
Yeah.
So
I
we'll
don't
have to
know.
wait and
I
see.
don't know
but
that
I
he's
mean,
phoning it in, but
But I really like Borat. I thought Bruno was probably taking it a bit too far, but I did very much like The Dictator. I thought that was very clever in places.
Yeah, I mean, at least with Bruno, there was still kind of this like character development where he's this very shallow, sort of flamboyant gay guy, and he sort of like learns to be humble and found a connection with this very ugly gay guy who he kind of ends up loving anyway, despite the fact he's kind of shallow.
Well, it's almost like not really about him as well, isn't it? Because it's participation, entertainment. It's almost like how stupid are the people that are interviewing him. That, you know, it's like that kind of sort of face palm type level of lack of awareness when these people just don't know they're being sent up.
Sure.
But as you say, a lot of people know that now, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's why when you go back to the original show in the 90s, it was funnier because a lot of these people had no idea who he was. They didn't know if he was serious or if he was taking a piss. And
yeah.
and it's funny as well because the reactions were real. You know, that's what made it funnier.
First time
I mean, I don't think he's had that many. I don't think he's had that many roles recently, has he? So this is, you know.
Yeah, he did that lady's first Netflix, you know, where it's like it seems like another fucking clumsy attempt to have imagine a world where it was where it was female privilege and the males were like the females in the business and being paid unequally and all that other bollocks. Jesus.
Oh God, yeah. It was a bit like that. What women want with Mel Gibson, wasn't it? Where he can hear their thoughts or something.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that film. It was all right. I mean, it was mildly amusing, but he did do that straight drama series about the spy.
Yeah, I've yet to watch it. I've heard it's actually pretty good.
It was very good. It was very good. He'll surprise you. He's proper reined in. And,
disclaimer.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty good in.
No. Is that what the series was called? Disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
I thought it was called The Spy.
Oh, maybe it was. I just saw he was in something called Disclaimer, TV series back in 2024. The Spy. Oh yeah, miniseries 2019.
Yeah, The Spy is the one I'm talking about. I don't think I've seen Disclaimer. Is that a series as well? Is it?
Yeah, it's Kate Blanchett and
Kate Blanchett and Kevin Kline.
You think he's gonna come back as Mephisto ever at all in any of the?
No, because Ironheart is dead.
Right. No, but I mean that doesn't mean Mephisto can't come back as something else, right? Like, do you think
but it's kind of
right.
Like that's all they've done with Mephisto. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they could do something with Stephen Strange, but even Doctor Strange seems to have been forgotten about, from what I can see.
Has anybody seen Disclaimer?
No. I just saw that. It looks pretty cool. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, I mean it's written and directed by Alfonso Cuarón.
Yeah,
who's a fucking phenomenal director. Kate Blanchett and Kevin Kline.
It's the same
TV,
Kevin Kline who's disappeared like 30 years ago.
Apple TV best series. Nobody watches them.
Well, they do.
People so hate Apple that you never even hear about their shows. It's the truth.
Yeah.
But they do have good shows. Well, we talk about them here, so I wouldn't say that.
It's got Art Malik in it. I've not seen him in anything for ages.
He used to come.
That is Kevin Kline. It's Mr. Phoebe Cates.
Yep. Yeah. If this was a movie, I would have watched it, but I just don't.
It's only a miniseries by looks of things. 7 episodes. It's not too bad.
Yeah,
it's like 6.5 hours long or whatever. It's like, god damn.
This actress,
3 hours, 3 hours and a quarter at double speed.
This actress left me a really long answer phone message about how wonderful one of my scripts was, but that she didn't feel the part was quite right for her. But the fact that she called me and left me that message was so nice. I wish I had a video recording of it.
I love her in Phantom Thread. She's Daniel Day-Lewis's sister, and he's got this weird relationship with her, and she's cool.
She's pretty good in the Firm with Gary Oldman as well. Not to be confused with the Tom Cruise legal drama, but I'm talking about the football hooligan film with her and Gary Oldman.
Is that Galadriel?
That is
Kate
Galadriel.
Blanchett.
Yeah, that's Galadriel. Absolutely. I'd be quite curious to watch this, actually.
She could still play Galadriel, let's be honest.
She
Look
looks
at
a
her.
lot younger than her years right here, and a lot younger than when we saw her in Borderline or Borderlands.
Oh, Borderlands, yeah.
Personality disorder, or whatever the hell that garbage is called.
I think that aged everybody, that film.
Looking at the stills, this is clearly a series of 2 timelines. This is them when they're younger, and this is, obviously the older version of themselves.
And they get even older.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
There's an even older timeline too.
Is there?
Yeah, because like later, Kevin Kline's all white and bearded and disheveled.
Well, he's continuously white throughout his life. You're talking, you mean his
white haired.
Well, that's why I said there's
a
clearly
Michael
2
Jackson
timelines.
twist. I thought he meant there was a Michael Jackson timeline too, where he changes.
No, I said there's 2 timelines.
Traits.
So is it, how many episodes is it? Let's have a look.
7.
7. Okay, and it was on.
Like
It was
too
on at the
many.
was on at the London Film Festival, but they can't have shown all 7. So I guess maybe they showed the first couple. Or
Like
something.
just making a movie.
Well,
They always have to go for these numbers that make you want to renew your membership. They won't allow someone to do like
content
a 3
for the subscription service.
which is it's so dumb. Like some of these older franchises would attract a lot of viewership. Like just for instance, like how about like twice a year you get like what would be 3 episode arc of like Magnum PI or something like that, or Star Trek Enterprise or any of those shows.
well, I might give this a whirl and talk about it next week if I can fit it in. Who saw Dog Park? Because we talked about that.
That one I
I
failed
did.
on, unfortunately.
Yeah, Luke, I think you watched it.
Yeah, it just seems like another nice little safe program where he's just putting in the background. I think I think people's nanas will love it though, And this is coming from a dog person as well, But it's okay, He's a guy who's going through a breakup, and he's kind of a little bit cynical and not very people person. But I've only watched 3 episodes, but I know he's going to end up becoming a people person and becoming a little bit more optimistic and have a bit more of a sense of humor. You can see this coming from a mile off, but it is what it is. It's completely inoffensive, and the dogs are cute, and so far in a way.
It's a comedy drama from New Zealand, I believe. It was recommended to me, and I thought, well, let's check it out. It's nice and short. Be right up Enzo Street. It's only 20 minutes an episode, and I did manage to watch the first episode, and then I couldn't find any of the others, so that was quite frustrating.
Yeah, is it not on Ustream for you?
I don't know. You might have to send me the link, but I couldn't.
Go on Ustream. No, it's a pretty legitimate free streaming service. It's not
Okay.
It's not the high seas.
No, good. Of course, I would never dream of doing such a thing.
Neither would I.
No.
Wink, wink.
No, there's no winking involved. Okay, what would you give it out of 10, mate?
Kind of just maybe just a 6 out of 10. It's inoffensive, but it's not anything I would boast about seeing, to be honest.
Anybody else catch it? Al?
No, I couldn't find it.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I've only seen the first episode, which is not a lot to go on, but I'd probably give it the same, about 6. I didn't think it was a particularly strong pilot. I thought the pilot set some things up, but I thought it could have been stronger. There was one bit about it. There was one bit that suggested, Luke, if you know what I'm talking about, that one character had died. There was a line.
Yeah, no, I got a bit confused there as well. But is he where?
And then they seem to be alive, and that they've just gone away. They're not actually dead. Did that get clarified later? Because I was really confused by that.
I know. I'm still kind of confused what he was doing. Was he working at some kind of funeral, sort of like home or some shit like that? I mean,
there's this setup where it suggested that his partner is taking a job abroad. She's going to be there slightly longer than she thought. He doesn't think that they're breaking up. She thinks that they might be. And then suddenly there's this line thrown in another scene where it says that says that same character has passed away, and it suddenly cuts to this different tone of shot, and it sort of gets that whole kind of Sixth Sense vibe, like maybe she's not really there. I don't know. I thought it was going to go down that road. And actually, if it had gone down that road, that would have been really interesting. It would have sort of had that Ricky Gervais dealing with bereavement kind of vibe, but with lots of dog therapy involved. Because dogs are very therapeutic. I think this is one of the things that the show's...
Afterlife is better so far. So from what I've seen, Afterlife is better.
No, Afterlife, definitely. Afterlife's got a great pilot as well. So, all right. Has anybody seen anything else that they want to talk about or give a shout out to this week?
Yeah, I watched a bunch of good shit.
Okay.
So, first of all, I did my first movie bang in years. I went to the theater and saw 2 movies. I haven't done that in a long time. So
Let's see.
So I saw Tony second, but before that I watched Hotspot, which I really wanted to see because it looked weird as hell, and it was. I don't know if I could recommend it to everybody, but I did. I was very entertained by it. It looked really crazy and trippy. I'd watch it again. I was not upset that I paid to see it. I saw it completely alone in the theater, which was sad. But this movie, if I could explain it, it was, Blade Runner meets Brazil meets Code 46 meets Tank Girl. It was really weird.
That's a combination right there.
So, it's like Code 46 and Tank Girl. It's like future where everything is like super drought. Societies have collapsed, and we're all living in this futuristic society in the desert where we have to preserve and conserve all energy resources and water. We recycle dead people into water like in Tank Girl. But this guy right here, he's got the bussin' hair. The fashion is very bizarre and queer-coded or whatever. I don't know. It is some kind of crazy dystopian future, but everyone's connected to this AI called the Head. And if you disconnect to the head, it can cause problems with you like physiologically, like your head could explode. This guy's basically trying to solve a murder involving a bunch of refugees doing some kind of... It's basically like there's a bunch of people who are connected to this AI thing called the Head, and then these refugees do not. They are anti-tech, and there's like a cyber witch like living amongst them. So she's like a witch who can hack you without any kind of, computer stuff. And he's got this hot Asian wife who's like a singer, and she disconnects often from the Head, which is like frowned upon because she likes to harness her raw humanitarianism or humanity when she's on stage performing. But yeah, it was just really weird. I don't even really know what it's about. Like I said, at one point, this guy turns into a tiger. I don't know if it's like literal or figuratively or there's a woman that he partners up with in the investigation, and she has fucking elf ears, and they never explain why or what or who. Or just say it's just really weird. He has the fashion is insane. Like at one point, the first costume he wears is like this crazy like cyclist style like suit, and then the second outfit he wears is this one. It's like this leather coat, shirt and tie, kilt, big military boots, and like lace thigh-high socks. It's just, and he's got this hair and this these big hoop earrings. And the criticism of the movie is it's very eclectic. It's really trippy looking in a good way. It's very inventive, very original. The plot is kind of nonsensical. And another big criticism is I'd wait until streaming for this one because it's a Polish film filmed in English. So you definitely need subtitles, especially for this main guy. It's very strange. And yeah, a lot of the cast, not necessarily good looking people. And I don't know. It was bizarre. But I couldn't recommend it to everybody. But if you're into this kind of, if you like Tank Girl and you've seen Code 46 and you like that kind of sci-fi dystopian stuff, like check it out. I'd give it a good 7 out of 10. It was pretty good. Weird. It was very weird, pretty good. And then the other movie I watched, I saw It Ends, which I think people are calling Backroads because it's basically like back rooms, but like on the road. This four young people, they're visiting each other before they all go away to their early 20s, and they take a turn on this road, and they drive for a while, and the guy who's driving is like, wait, I think we missed the turn. We should turn around. And then they turn around, and after a short while, there's like a dead end, just like woods. And they're like, that's weird. And then they turn back around, and they just keep driving, and they noticing like the gas tank isn't going down. And then next thing you know, it's like the next morning, and they're just driving for a whole day and a half with it takes them no time at all to realize like they might be dead. But that's not really what the movie's about. The movie then takes this turn because now it's like they've been driving for like 1,000,000 miles, and this is their life now. And and these two on the right have come to terms with it. And the guy on the left is over here. He's trying to find an answer, find a way out. He's trying to. He knows that if they keep just doing the thing, this guy right here, he was the original driver, and at some point he just gives up and leaves, just walks out into the woods. And the thing is, if they get out of the car for a few minutes, random people start just coming out of the woods and trying to attack them. So they have to stay in the car. They don't get hungry. They don't get sleepy. They don't get thirsty. They don't get aroused. So they basically just spend like their existence just kind of coming to terms and just getting to know each other. And I found it was like a very interesting movie about friendships drifting apart over years, and also like the road to life. Like they were talking about how like there used to be this path you would drive on, you would go on, and you would get your life would figure itself out. You'd get the house, you'd get the job, you'd get the family, and that doesn't seem true anymore for this generation. So like, I think that's kind of what they're saying metaphorically. This guy on the left, this Chinese guy, he's the one that's like, if I do right, if I do what I'm supposed to do, things will work out. And then the other two are kind of come to terms like, hey, man, like, we just need to be happy in the moment. Just learn to just kind of live with this kind of stuff. I thought this was a really good low-budget movie. The whole movie's just filmed on, like, one road. They just kind of drive up and down, I guess, in the making of, they just need a car and 3 or 4 actors and some woods. But it's one of those movies where it's not a horror film. It is a it's one of those discussion pieces. Like, you guys should watch it, and then we can talk about what the hell it's actually about. But I thought it was really good. And
it'd be a good Chew the Fat episode, maybe.
Yeah, I'd give this one an 8 out of 10. Liked it more than Hotspot. Not as good as Tony. And then the other one I watched it last night. I watched from the guy who made Wet Hot American Summer and The 10, and they came together. David Wayne made another movie called Gail Daughtry and the Celebrity Sex Pass. I did not know that he made that movie when I was seeing it advertised. But it is very David Wayne humor, which I was happy about because he's got a very meta, high concept sense of humor. It's very goofy. But yeah, basically the plot is Gail Daughtry is a hairstylist in a small town. She's lived there her whole life. She's engaged to her high school sweetheart. And they jokingly talk about who their celebrity sex passes are. And one of the guys says, the husband says, Jennifer Aniston. No, he says Tilda Swinton. And hers is John Hamm. And then they go meet Jennifer Aniston, who's doing a book signing. And she's writing a book about, it's like a cookbook that she's writing. Just to give you the idea of the humor, the book is called Straightforward Suppers by Jennifer Aniston. And she's reading an excerpt. Yeah, she's reading an excerpt, and she's just saying, like, take 1 egg, boil it, serve it with whatever, drink with 2 glasses of tap water. And everyone's, like, clapping. And then on the back of the book, it's a picture of like 2 hot dog wieners and some peas, it's very weird. It's a very
Sounds
weird
about
movie.
right, though. I mean, remember, she ate baby food for a year. Remember that?
Yeah, so I do not remember that. But so they
That's why
they meet Jennifer.
that's true.
Oh, okay. So like another joke. Jennifer Aniston is like, could you sign my copy of my book? I love you so much. Oh, absolutely. You guys are a cute couple. I can tell that you guys are gonna go far. In fact, I'm gonna write a little special something for you. I got a little something that I'm gonna write here. Scribble, scribble, scrabble, scribble, 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 and ask some questions and talk to you for a minute. Scribble, scribble, and then hand them the book, and then the signature is just XOJA. I mean, that kind of humor is like all throughout the movie. So they walk out of the bookstore and the husband's like, she was so nice. I'm going to change my celebrity sex pass to Jennifer Aniston. It's like, okay, but just remember, if you meet Tilda Swinton, you keep your hands to yourself. Yeah, of course. Oh, wait, my keys are in my coat and my coat is inside the bookstore. Let me go back and get it. Wait by the car. And then like 1 hour later, the shop is closing. And she's like knocking on the door like, hey, my husband's supposed to be in there. She walks into the staff area and finds him boning his wife, boning Jennifer Aniston. And she's very heartbroken about it. And Jennifer Aniston's like, he said you'd be cool with this. And, I'm pretty intuitive and I'm getting the vibe that you're not. And so she decides to go to Hollywood with her gay hairdresser friend. Because they're going to go meet this famous hairstylist who's the inventor of the whip curl. And she needs to get away for a while because, like, they're going to get wet. Their plan is to get married soon, like in the next couple weeks. So she's just going to go to Hollywood. And she goes to meet a fortune teller who tells her, like, okay, like, if you want to save your relationship, you have to go have sex with John Hamm. So the whole movie is her, and it's kind of like The Wizard of Oz. In fact, it's very much like The Wizard of Oz. Her little gay hairdresser is Toto. They meet this little Asian wannabe film agent who is he's Scarecrow. The paparazzi guy with the goatee, he is the Tin Man. And this is all to find John Hamm. They're trying to find John Hamm. And then they get John Slattery, who plays himself from Mad Men. They find him, and he's the Cowardly Lion. And John Slattery is so funny in this movie.
He's a great actor. And he's an underrated actor, for sure.
So the whole point is, we need to go track down John Hamm so Gail Daughtry can go have sex with him and save her relationship. And this movie is just bonkers. If you've seen They Came Together or Wet Hot American Summer or any of those movies, you'll know this movie is very goofy. And I would recommend it if you're into the spoof, style silly comedies, goofy comedies. I thought it was very funny. I'd give it a 7. It's not as good as, Wet Hot and They Came Together. And, I think it's better than the 10, though, which I love. So, I mean, it's fun. It was, and it's a fun, it's like I said, it's clearly based on The Wizard of Oz, and also, I would say very, I don't know how to describe it. It was funny. Let's just put it that way.
All right. Rating out of 10?
Like I said, 7. I'd give it another 7. It was good.
All right. It's very important that we need to discuss Muppets in Space. Because unfortunately, I have to watch it. Northern, I know you've got to go soon. Have you seen this?
No, I've not watched this one. I don't really give a shit about New Track.
No, fair enough. Is there? I know you've got to jump off. Is there anything you want to plug quickly, buddy?
Yeah, one film that I just saw for the first time for Losers Lounge, and that was They Might Be Giants with George C. Scott and Joanna Woodward. It's
yeah, I saw you guys chatting about that earlier, and Joanna Woodward's still around.
Yeah, she's I think she's 96 now. Yeah. So she's knocking on a little bit, but she's still going.
Yeah. What did you think of the film? Because it's been a while.
I really liked it. I mean, I thought it was a very interesting film about this sort of judge whose wife was killed, and he has this nervous breakdown and starts thinking he's Sherlock Holmes. But it kind of works a little bit like Miracle on 34th Street, where you got this guy who thinks he's Santa Claus, but for some reason his presence just brings out the best in people. And the same thing goes with George C. Scott's character, Jerome. I think he's Jeremy or Jerome, but he thinks he's Sherlock Holmes, and he's also very clever. And he kind of starts seeing all these little these things that might be a clue that points him to Moriarty. And Joanna Woodward is the shrink who's supposed to be trying to cure him for it as well. She's on the case because it's a very interesting case. But later on, his reality almost kind of starts catching on to her. She starts sort of feeding into his enthusiasm and his almost delusion in a way. And you can sort of make an argument whether to say it is a delusion, because he can be the fact that he thinks his Sherlock Holmes might be more real than you could imagine. It's almost like when a character is fictional but seems more real to you than anyone else. And it's a very optimistic film as well that doesn't go too much into tragedy, even though he has basically gone through this trauma and his mind has sort of like just flipped this switch. But he has this presence where he just brings out the best in people as well. He helps people out, and at the end, they kind of come together for him in the end as well. And it's left on a very ambiguous note. There's no real. You do kind of get this other little plot with the brother trying to get him sectioned so he can get the money off him, and he's got these other gangsters who he owes money to, and one of them's played by the dickhead principal from the Back to the Future movies. But apart from that, it's a very optimistic film, and George C. Scott is just always a fucking win. He is. I mean, he really sells the role.
I watched this with my parents on TV, and yeah, it's a good film. It's got Jack Gilford from Cocoon in it as well.
It's got a good few actors on there as well. It's it's a very underrated movie, and George C. Scott is he's always good. I don't think I've ever seen a bad George C. Scott performance.
Well, you're right about that. Do you think they got Harley Quinn from this movie? Because it sounds like when you're saying she's picking up on his madness and stuff.
Well, she's kind of still herself. She's not like really loopy yet. She's a very intelligent, logical thinking woman, but she can't help but get sort of caught up in his reality a little bit as well, because he's just so confident and so sure of it. You know, she's like, there's this real. The ending is kind of ambiguous, where it's like, do you hear the hooves of the horses coming? And it's like, no, I can't hear. And it's like, no, listen carefully, and you do start to hear it with her, and you're kind of wondering, is there a horse coming, or is she just kind of like sort of feeding into what he's feeding off what he's hearing or seeing?
Well, give me a rating out of 10, because I'm afraid we've got to move on to Muppets.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a good 9 out of 10 anyway. Yeah, it has it does go a little bit ridiculous in places, but it is still very charming.
Okay. Well, listen, I appreciate you coming on, because you're not always able to make it. Thanks very much for being here, and also thanks for being on the phone the other day as well. Very much appreciated.
Anytime, man. Anytime, okay?
Yeah, I'm glad I caught your show last Friday. So I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, you too, man. You take care of your lot as well. Everyone in chat, take care.
Bye.
So as you can see, Miss Sparkles has used her magical powers, and you can see that from my avatar, I've now been turned into Napoleon Kermit. Her powers,
if only the puppet had been that cool.
Her powers know no bounds. So, I've turned into a Muppet, and not for the first time.
At least you're a Muppet. These one of the most important things that they spent most of this episode doing was kind of proving that they are not Muppets, so they wouldn't get sued.
Right.
Jim Henson was involved with this.
It's the Jim. Well, here's the thing. The Muppets get sold off. Jim Henson's been gone since before maybe some of us on the panel were even born. He died in 1991 at the age of 58, so we didn't have him very long. His son has been kind of at the wheel, but obviously the biggest Henson days are before that. There's still a lot of success, but like what's gone on recently is they sold the Muppet name to Disney. His son went out there trying to do the same stuff. Now, his son has the entertainer gene, but like maybe the kid's a guitar player or something like that, because like as much as he can entertain, he might not have talent within the very narrowly specific field of Muppet, interesting, compelling puppets. So what you're seeing here is a legally mandated non-Muppet. It's got 5 fingers instead of the 4. That does not have a wanded hand, and because this one has a deep mouth, its eyes are pretty flat to its skull, because it can have the different hands, a deep mouth, the nose like that, and the googly eyes all at once. It can only have some of these things.
Wow. I swear
Or
all
a
of that is
wanded
more
hand.
interesting than the actual episode.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
actual episode is a horrible piece of garbage that is not just the worst Star Trek ever made, but perhaps the worst television ever made, and will be studied for generations. J.J. Abrams is now off the hook. It is Alex Kurtzman. He has taken the crown and run with it. He is the last king of Scotland of the final frontier. It is absolutely awful what he's doing to the corpse of Star Trek. He should face the sci-fi CSI.
I know you're a big Trek fan, quite upset about it. I mean,
well, look at the other picture I showed you if you want to see the preposterous nature of it.
Yeah, I'll put that up in a second. I watched this episode deliberately because I saw you were doing a discussion on it, which I plugged for you on my Facebook.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
And I thought, actually, I hadn't seen any episodes of this season, and I've only seen a few episodes of Strange New Worlds, full stop, because I just don't like the look of the show. It just feels more like Star Wars to me, and it's not Star Wars, and it's not Trek.
This is more the norm. This is more the norm. Just anything but Star Trek. Throwing at you something weird. That these puppets didn't sing is the most shocking thing about this garbage episode.
Well, I thought, let me watch this because it might be entertaining, at least. And I knew we were probably going to discuss it. So I did watch it, and I was like, now there were some bits that made me laugh. Like, I can't touch any of the bit where they're like, none of the panels are working. I can't use them with these hands, Well, of course you can't, because you're a puppet. That was kind of fun, but at the same time, it was like the setup for why they become puppets, muppets, whatever you want to call them, was absolutely preposterous. And
not to mention your hand valid. You're like the Enterprise has less security than your cell phone, and also the bit went on too long. Like he tries to revalidate like 15 times. Like, dude, you can't figure out capture. Just step back and calm down.
Well, also the way that those pirates were able to hack into the bridge camera and turn it on just felt ridiculous.
The first Orions we've ever seen where the women were not just not beautiful, but below mundane looking and the dumbest adversaries ever. And for him to have his William Shatner moment, which is what this was. And by the way, this is emblematic of the show. Here he is, Pike, on the shoulders of not one, but 2 women. And of course, it's the non-augmented woman, or so they say now. They've changed their lore on her, who's on the bottom holding the augmented woman holding Pike. So he's standing on the shoulders of 2 women. And of course, he's the face of the operation, even like that. So this is what their creative energy goes into showing us. This scene, as you remember, was really terribly stupid. The whole thing was dumb. The causality of why they became a puppet was simply they beamed a puppet into space, and it caused a wave of transporter effect to turn everyone into a puppet, and including the ship to beam away. Spock was out for reasons that involved him not being there, and that's it. And when he comes back, everyone's a puppet. He just buys this. He's not shocked. He takes it in stride. He gets bossed around and told what to do. And then when they unpuppetify the whole thing, it's thank God the AI told Alex Kurtzman, you need to make this a dream. It's too far out for Star Trek. But the biggest leadership moments this character has ever had came as a puppet, and it was preposterous and played for laughs, and it was so badly done.
Critic Al, let's hear from you on this. Have you seen the episode?
No, I refuse, but I know nearly everything about it because I've watched all the reviews, but I refuse to watch Strange New Worlds. This show can go fuck itself. Basically, I mean, Star Trek Academy is one thing because it doesn't, but this is pissing all over legacy characters. This show can go to hell.
I did think it was you know, like it felt to me like there was a writers' meeting and they bashed around some ideas, and somebody went, "Oh yeah, wouldn't it be fun if you know?" And sometimes ideas that start with a sentence, "Wouldn't it be fun if?" might be quite good, but sometimes they might be quite shit. And
I think you're giving them a little too much credit. They're just they could have another production company come in and do their production for them and have their actors mostly only voice over and keep a lot more money than usual. And these fencing people, they don't have Muppets to sell. They've got to get this product out there. They all look like the Amazon puppet form. There's the Carol Kane puppet, and there is spouse abuser Rebecca Romaine on the right. That's her puppet. As you can see, they're distinctively different from Muppets in a couple of ways. This was really just awful stuff. I think that not Zachary Quinto, I'm sorry, Ethan Peck deserves like real credit for only having the mask slip visibly twice throughout this entire preposterous, ridiculous episode. It was horrible. And also he got dumped 4 times before having a person Team America intimacy moment, to leave it tastefully as possible.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah,
that's where we're at. Fortunately, I think once the Kurtzman contract is played out, all indications are he'll have no retroactive rights, and I believe this will be memory hold.
Interesting.
The show has no respect for Star Trek, so I have no respect for the show. Goes as simple as that.
You know, Critic Al, you speak for all of us, but someone has to call it out. That's why we call the show Sci-Fi CSI. They're dishonoring the corpse of a once great show. And why should they get away from it with it? For the last 3 years, they have been passing this off as a really good show that no one watches. And if you dropped into a random episode and only watched the previous on, you'd be like, this show looks pretty good. Wow, they did that. And you don't realize the special effects are over the course of 4 seasons, and it only fills 2 minutes. And in this episode, we had like 3 seconds of special effects, enough to see what was going on with the transporter. It didn't seem like there were any extras. It looked like they were the CGI ghosts of previous extras. And I made a video about it. If you want to check it out, I'd love if people looked at it. But I had my say for about 7 minutes on this. You wouldn't have to absorb a commercial. There wasn't anything more to say about it, but some things they had to be called out. And we need to bring back the Enterprise writers for the Enterprise sequel show, or they're going to lose Star Trek. You can't reboot it with a movie, in my opinion. And it's a shame because this is one of the greatest shows of all time and the greatest fandoms of all time and the most loyal. They want to come back and spend their money. Stop abusing us.
I genuinely rather have a show with, you know, models and shaky walls and all that kind of shit if it was just sci-fi and Star Trek. I really
had
would.
a good
story.
Yeah.
Yes. And I cared about the character. And you know what? Here's the thing. In Star Trek, the thing we could count on was all would sacrifice themselves to save just one, and one would always sacrifice himself to save all. Now it's like, you know what? We got to snark around and like do it in spite of ourselves and like get across this hardcore communist message that comes across in a lot of episodes. Disparu was correct. This is not the worst Star Trek show. That's Academy. This is the most damaging. It flies under the radar, masquerading as a good show, and it's not a good show. It's terrible, but their previous eons would make you think you're just seeing an outlier bad episode. It's terrible.
I can't forgive what they did to Spock. It's as simple as that.
Thank you, Critic Al. Thank you.
Critic Al, do you have a show or a movie you want to mention?
You know, I do. You know, we have a habit of watching dodgy horror films on Amazon. Me and the missus trying to find out who can pick the worst one. Well, I watched just to watch the film. It was called Cutting Class, and it turns out it's one of Brad Pitt's first ever movies.
Cutting Class.
Cutting Class. Yeah, it's a slasher flick. It's set in a school. It's not very good, but basically there's this student.
I remember the cover for this. Yeah, the video cover for this. Yeah.
But yeah, one of Brad Pitt's first ever films. And it's like, wow, even back then you could see dude was like by far the best thing about it. And he can act. Yeah.
You got to start doing being a background extra
He did, yeah, you're right. His previous roles in IMDb was, all
you could see him in
background
some
Was it
crazy
head of the
movies.
class? Was it head of the
Yeah.
class with Robin Gibbons that he had the background role on, where he moves up to being like one of the more prominent students?
I mean, his first few roles were uncredited, completely uncredited, according to IMDb. So yeah, I guess like an extra, you move up to like an A class. But this is
Donovan Leitch. Wow.
yeah, it's not a great film. I would say like the last 15 minutes are pretty good from like a horror slasher perspective.
Well, it's
But
got Roddy McDowell's in it, you know.
Roddy McDowell, oh, it's
That's
great. He
awesome.
plays this perv headmaster. He's a complete lech. He really is. It's just like, but he's doing it all very, very tongue in cheek. Yeah, I mean, the film's not great. It tries to be way too much sort of school drama more than. I mean, bear in mind, this is like 1989, so we're right near the end of that sort of slasher era of films. But yeah, noteworthy, I guess, for Brad Pitt, and it tries to keep you guessing who the killer is, but it's not particularly good at it. But the last 15 minutes are pretty good, and it's just really cool to watch a very, very young Brad Pitt, you know, at the start of his career, more or less, and what he can do. So from that perspective, it was worth a watch, but the film's not good. It's not a good
How's
film.
Leach? He's a double Nepo hire for a teen movie at that point, and being a celebrity's kid. Was he okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. He does what you'd expect. I mean, he plays basically it's about a kid who comes back to school after undergoing psychological treatment for killing his father. And they're all like, when murders start happening on the campus, obviously he's the first one they look to.
Gotcha.
And it sort of revolves around that, and there's a few twists and turns, but nothing, as I say, particularly amazing. But obviously that Brad Pitt's convinced it's him, and people start dying, and then there's sort of doubt starts getting cast and stuff like that. I wouldn't say Jill Schoelen impressed me all that much as an actress. It was thoroughly forgettable, but as I say, just as an oddity for like one of literally Brad Pitt's first ever films, I was like, oh, cool, you know, pretty good. And then somehow my wife managed to find a film that was even worse afterwards, and that was called Night Train to Terror, and that was truly abysmal.
Yeah, so I vaguely remember that being in the video store as well.
That was really bad. Really, really bad. It's like bits of other movies in like an anthology format with the devil and God, like debating over which souls go to heaven and hell. And there's this weird 80s dance band on the train as well for some reason, because it's the 80s, I guess. But that was even worse. That the editing in that is absolutely atrocious. Yeah, Kirsty won that round, because although Cutting Class was not good, Night Train Terror was even worse.
Yeah, that's the one with Jamie Scroggin in it. I think it's this thing, isn't it?
That's it.
From Babylon 5 at the end, Crusade.
No, Jamie Scroggin, not.
Oh, that's Tracy Scoggins.
Yeah, Tracy.
Sorry,
Scoggins,
my bad.
Talking about, I'm taking a big risk and scrolling through.
Hopefully it's boob free, yeah, because there's a lot of titties in this film.
Oh, I know, that's probably as far as we want to go. So yeah, it doesn't look particularly.
It's not good. I mean, I've seen a lot of these kind of films now, and this one is not one of the better ones at all. I mean, the anthology format and the whole idea, it's an interesting idea, certainly, but it's very, very poorly executed. I've got the feeling that they took some previously available. I mean, the last section is actually appears to be cut down bits of a film called The Death Wish Club.
Right.
So I'm not sure what the history behind this is, whether it's just a cheap sort of cut and slash job, kind of they just put bits together to make a film, but it's not good. It's actually worse than Cutting Class, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can't see anything about that in the production notes on here. But yeah, I think there's different versions of the film that exist. So Richard Mole is in one version of it. Always
Oh,
liked
wow.
him. Yeah, we lost him not that long ago. No way! I think this train is cool. What a great line.
I just, yeah, the dance band is so 80s.
The old UK video version suffered from 4 minutes and 17 seconds of heavy cut, which removed shots of a topless woman tied to a table, a graphic decapitation scene, shots of dismembered bodies, close-ups of human organs during the operation scene, and Enzo singing. Don't know. It's, I'm just checking he's still here. Right.
I am.
Okay, great. Yeah, well, we're gonna wrap up. Yeah, and I want to bookend really with Dolly Parton, because I mean this has been a massive. Just to give you an idea, in the UK, Sky News have been pretty much running constant coverage of her passing since the story broke late afternoon today, and I've obviously done a dedication to her on my socials and things of that nature. But yeah, it's I can't. Is there someone in the country and Western world that's sort of going to step into her shoes to some degree? Do we know?
She's Miley Cyrus's godmother. Maybe Miley maybe Miley gets it together, starts acting a little less weird.
Yeah, I mean, I know who Miley Cyrus is. I don't know about her weirdness because I tend not to follow the gossip.
Little weird. I didn't realize she was. I didn't realize she was Dolly's goddaughter, though. So, you know, that you would think that there's a mantle there. Grok's not backing me up on the Mandrells. Just so many collaborations. I think they just called her Aunt Dolly.
Right. Okay.
Strong resemblance, anyway, though, if you look like at Barbara Mandrell,
though. Yeah, I mean, I dare say a lot of people probably called her Aunt Dolly.
She did help a lot of people. She was known for philanthropy. So what else can you say on someone on the way out? That she cared about other people. She did her best. And you know what? But it was only like, what, three years ago that she did halftime at, was it a Super Bowl or one of the major championship games in the American Football League? And she was dressed up in her go-go outfit, and it took some effort to make her still look like she could like wear a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader outfit. But she pulled it off and went out there and like entertained an entire stadium that was just like these people were just so overjoyed to be in the same place with her. Like, she was a treasure.
Let's be honest. If you can get through this life and exit it and have people pretty much just praising you nonstop and saying that you're a great person, you've done all right, haven't you? And I'd say, I don't think I've ever really heard anybody say a bad word about her, if I'm being honest.
She's a country artist, and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's like, we need legitimacy. Can we please put you in? The people love you so much. It's just like, all right, Suge.
Yeah, I mean, I know people in the industry who've worked with her. Talked about my friend Donald Logue and what he posted on social media earlier, and it's the same thing really. Like Al said, I mean, I've not heard anything sort of on the gossip tree in a negative context about her. I have heard lots of the opposite. It's a bit like when oh my God, the guy we lost from the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Paul Walker.
Paul Walker.
When Paul Walker died, quite a lot of stories came out about sort of things he'd done for people. One of the famous ones that I heard, and I think was reported on the news as being true, was that there was a couple looking at engagement rings in a jeweler's in LA, California somewhere. And the guy was in his military uniform. He literally just got back from the war, and the first thing he wanted to do was, you know, propose or get married. I think it might have been wedding rings they were looking at. I don't know. And the one that they, you know, the one that she really liked, they checked the price. No way they could afford it, and they were sort of still looking. And apparently he was in the store sort of incognito overheard the conversation, and he went and paid for the rings and then fucked off without saying anything. And then one the store assistant just came over and just said, "So just to let you know, someone has bought the rings that you were looking at that you wanted, or they'll give you. You've now got credit with the store for that equivalent of $10,000 or however much it was." That I think we're going to hear a lot of stories like in that vernacular about Dolly Parton over the next few weeks and months, probably. Not just the stuff that people know that she did publicly, but I suspect there's going to be all these other things that are going to come out where she's quietly gone in and helped people without seeking publicity for it, you know. And I'm sure there are going to be hundreds of those, because that's the kind of person that she was. So yeah, I knew that she was getting on, but it's funny. It's like, I think she did an interview, and it wasn't that long ago, a few weeks ago, in fact, where, you know, she felt she still had a few good years left in her yet, and
she was in hospital recently, though, wasn't she? I wasn't imagining that.
Yeah,
she did have
She had a
something.
couple of
recent,
chronic
yeah.
things, but
Yeah.
but she was always vivacious. You could never tell. I don't know if she was the kind of person who didn't complain or she was simply low symptomatic, but you know, we all saw, even as recently as that Orville appearance, she was energetic and happy.
Yeah. Yeah. I always, even the films of hers, like Straight Talk that she did with James Woods, which was, you know, not an amazing film, but I still liked watching her in a movie. There was something very earnest and charismatic about her in her performances, and then, you know, she could also turn her hand and hold her own with the more serious pieces that she did. But it's always going to be Best Little Whorehouse in Texas for me. I'm actually gonna put it on right after we. I've got some work to do, but I'm going to put it on in the background right after we finish this stream. And this is the way I will always remember her, as this character, because the character in that story, and I want to be very clear about this, putting the madam of the chicken ranch employment role to one side, the other qualities of that character that she possessed is this sort of motherly person who looked after everybody working under her as if they were family, strikes me as being very much who she was. I mean, the guy who released the statement on behalf of the family, I think, was her long-term head of security, and his father was the head of security before him, and that family was basically employed by her for life. And that message was recorded while she was still alive, I think, you know, with her consent. Sort of. I think
The report I read was that was her nephew, right?
I don't know if it's her nephew or, you know, but I'm not sure.
Another
if
Aunt Dolly
I
situation.
mean, they may well be related. They may not be related. Certainly, she considered them family, whether they were or not. So, like I said, she strikes me as somebody who looked after as many people as she could. God, I wish I could be in a position to do that. The people I would help, but you know, don't we all? But she's one person who really did it and really spread the wealth. And I don't know that I'm ever going to see someone else like that in my lifetime. I mean, who is at that level, even in the film industry now, who's doing that, who's spreading their wings that far to help that many people? I know Christian Bale did that great project with, you know, that sort of village that he's made, like a care home for children, but it's like for families and stuff, and so kids don't get separated from their siblings, they can stay together, like this very unique project. That's a very cool thing. But I don't think his roots have dug quite as deep as Dolly Parton's did in all the areas that she has worked in. Do we have somebody else like that now? Most of the big stars of the sort of olden Hollywood days have gone. You know, the Liz Taylors and those kinds of people. Who's left? I don't know. It's definitely the
Harrison
Ford. Is he massively known for lots of philanthropy? I mean, he's done some things, sure, but is he?
No, he's kind of known for kind of having money challenges. I don't know if it came from the philanthropy.
No, yeah, I don't.
He
It's all
had
the
some,
weed he
though,
smokes.
right.
Yeah.
Is it Tom Hanks, the one who's like made significant
maybe
contributions to history and preservation of people's
Hanks has got
records?
foundations and stuff set up in his
Yeah,
name,
he's preserved a lot of documents and first-hand accounts of World War II and stuff.
Yeah, I guess Hanks is up there certainly in terms of what he's doing.
Robert De Niro preserving profanity from the New York point of view for all time.
No politics, please. Anyway, yeah. So
Just profanity.
We've definitely lost one of the biggest lights. Although you could argue that heaven has gained one, but yeah, man, sad day indeed. I was so gutted when I heard this news. What can you say? But what a life well lived. What a life well lived. Does anybody want to say anything else on this topic before we wrap up?
No,
Great
not really.
songwriter.
It's sad. She won't be the last. Everybody's getting old, and as we get old, those who are older than us get older than us, and it's death and taxes, isn't it? But it doesn't make it not sad when it happens.
Yeah, it's a great loss. She was beautiful. She was also beautiful as a person. We all enjoyed like the music, and we all enjoyed the movies. Like not every movie, like you said, was a huge hit. We didn't talk much about Rhinestone, but that was fun too. And she'll be missed. She'll absolutely be missed. America. She was a really outstanding American.
Well, we will each remember her in our own way, and yeah, certainly for me, I'm glad I've still got some films that I'm going to turn to, and people in the chat have commented as well. She was from a completely different era. I don't think we'll ever see the likes of her again. Yeah, and agree. So yeah, it's hard to know what else to say really. It is the end of an era for sure. For sure, she was, as somebody said earlier, she was the female Elvis effectively, and that's a great compliment, to be honest. So yeah, rest in peace, Dolly. Thank you for the memories. And that's it for us this week. Now, I have got quite a lot going on, industry interview-wise. Now, I've got to check, but I think I have an industry interview with Kim Sims tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I've got one with DJ Jax D at 7 p.m. on Friday. Nothing on Thursday. And then the following week, on Monday night, there's no Ibiza podcast because it's the bank holiday Monday over here. Tuesday the 1st of September. Can you believe it's already September next week? I've got Paul PK King, the former promoter at Ministry of Sound. He's also one of the top trance DJs in the country, so he's going to be on the channel. And then on Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. I've got Meet the Authors. I've got several authors coming on. Line up to be fully confirmed next week. So yeah, quite a few things happening, and yeah, and then I've also got a couple more interviews. 9th of September, 8 p.m. I've got rapper and singer KJ Leone coming on. So then, of course, don't forget on the 10th of September, we've got the London screening of the Ryan Drake trilogy. The Outcast Creative, aka me, will be there. And I think Critic Al, you're coming, aren't you?
Yeah, I've bought a ticket and I've got the coach sorted today. I'll be getting to London around about 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Fantastic, mate. I shall see you there.
Indeed.
And look forward to it. Yeah, so that's really it from us. I wish I had an edited montage of Parton clips to play us out on, because that's really what we should be doing. But news of her passing broke so soon prior to us going live that there was no time.
Like literally 45 minutes to an hour before, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah. There's no time. I don't know if there's anyone's done one and dropped it on YouTube while we've been talking, like a Dolly Parton dedication montage. I'll happily play that if somebody can find me one.
I think we had even more time to process Chuck Norris, right? We found out in the morning, right? In America, at least. Yeah,
Chuck, because I was able to edit and write a Chuck Norris song.
We streamed together that time. I heard
and have it ready for the show. And knowing me, I probably would have done a Dolly Parton one as well.
I was not glad to lose Chuck Norris, but that was like a really good stream that day that we did.
Yeah, no,
we covered everything.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm not seeing anything on YouTube.
Okay, thanks for checking, mate. I appreciate it. All right,
No worries.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just play out the usual credits then. Do check out my co-hosts' channels. Stupenzo is coming up to 1,000 subs, guys. So if you could give him a sub or two, or tag a few friends in a post, try and get them to jump on that. That'd be great. Be great if we could get him to 1K ASAP. Links to everybody else can easily be found, but do check them out. And guests, you're welcome to drop them in the chat during the end credits as well.
I don't know if Aaron has just posted something in the comments that might.
If anybody in Europe's an insomniac, I'm going on in like 4 hours. 3 hours now. Wow.
Yeah, that's that link. Okay, yeah, let me see if I can grab that.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Aaron.
And thanks for letting me rant about the puppets. I really needed to do that, and I really owe you one for it. It was really upsetting, and it's been burning away at me for a couple of days.
I'm happy to contribute towards your puppet therapy.
The last thing he needs is therapy with puppets.
Point to where it hurt you.
Yeah, so that's mate, that's no problem at all.
It meant a lot, though. Honestly, I love Star Trek, and they did this. Fuck you, Alex Kurtzman.
All right, that's it from us, guys. Yeah, Dolly would have done a tribute to Dolly Parton. I would like to think that we won't get a copyright strike for that. It'll be an interesting point of discussion if we do, but I'm sure Dolly would approve. So we'll be back next Tuesday with the Nielsen ratings. Do check out the industry interviews that I've got coming up in the interim, guys. It is just 20 to go now until I hit 200. So we're going to try and get a special guest in for that one. Yeah. In the meantime, here's a bit of Dolly. Have we got audio okay?
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Dollywood. As I feel today, I have dreamed for many years of getting to come back, bringing something back, so you folks will know that I'm as proud of you as you've always been of me. Big Bear Mountain, Big Bear, we're looking for you.
I'm certainly not going to tell you no.
No, okay, I'll start saying you get that one.
And you know what? I can't. 40 years, but you don't look a day over 30. What do you think?
I'm the same age as the Imagination Library.
Yeah.
How'd that happen? I couldn't get my microphone on. I was sitting with that cute guy in that car, and I just lost all track of time.
Hang out with the lambs, got the legend, Galen Hurd. He's creative, we're creative. How about you? Share your passion, join the crew. At Outcast Creative, we're breaking through. Hang with Lance and the Outcast crew. Hang with Lance and the Outcast crew. So come on, take a chance. Join the Outcast, hang with Lance. Bring your vision, your art, your flair. At Outcast Creative, there's always room to share. Hang with Lance and the Outcast crew.